Okay, so today we will continue again, with the same writing task one. We have discussed a few things in writing task one, and we have introduced what task one is all about. We have also learned how to, what kind of visuals do we get in task one. Along with that, we have learned about how to, select information within a visual and to group the information and so on. We have also learned how to write, how to paraphrase the introductory statement and then how to write the overall trend. So we will continue with the same, discussion today as well. In today's lecture, you will learn about how to describe data, right? How to group information, how to order paragraphs, and how to write the data description part of task one. So these are a few things that we haven't discussed in the previous class. So this is what we are going to discuss today in detail. Now, to learn more about how to describe data, we should know that how can we, focus on the language, right? Focus on language is really important. And that is something that we are going to see. How can we, focus on the language of the task one? So here are a few handouts that we can read and see what do we have here. Okay. So in describing the data, what should you do first is that you should look at the trends, right? That, how, or what kind of changes do we have over the time, right? As we have seen yesterday in the very last, example where in the energy production, there was a downtrend and then also there was an upward trend, right? And it was, the change was over the time. So it was, I think, from 1970s to 2000, the time period was this. So we have two types of trends. One was the downtrend and the other one was the upward trend. You can also, have comparisons where you can look at similarities and differences. Now, most of the times, the students, they get this word wrong. When they hear the word comparison, they only look at the similarities. But the fact is that the word comparison also means looking at the differences, where you are actually comparing two things, the similarity as well as the differences. So whenever it is required, you have to look at both the similarities as well as the differences in the data, in the visual. Now look here. Here is an example. Can you see the screen? Is the screen visible there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see here global energy
Yes,
consumption
sir.
since 1970s by generating method, right? So this is, the time frame. We have 1970s to 2000. This is actually the time frame. Now we have changes. We have a downward, you know, you can say trend, and then we have an upward trend, right? And this is, the percentage. So we can compare both the trends, the upward and the downward trend, right? We can see how are they different, right? So petroleum is different from nuclear energy production. Why? Because petroleum came down and nuclear went up, right? So, this is what you can say the difference is. The similarity is that natural gas and nuclear energy, both of them, they are similar. Why? Because they are moving upward. Petroleum and coal, they are similar. Why? Because both of them, they are coming downward. So, this is what you say similarity, comparison of similarity and differences. Now, here we have a time frame. The time frame is mentioned, as I have already told you, 1970s to 2000, right? Okay. Further, if we look here, as I've mentioned, we have two trends, the downward trend and the upward trend, right? So these are the two trends here. Now, how can we describe the data? As we have mentioned, focusing the language. So we can say petroleum is, was used the most in the 1970s. So we can say that the production through petroleum energy was peaked at over 50%. Look at the word, learn this word peaked at. When you're talking about, something which has reached its climax, so you can say peaked at. Have you learned the word? The phrase peaked
Yes,
at
sir.
peaked at over 50%. Now, look at the other phrase, gradually declined. Gradually, right? Means slowly. It is not like this, which is, direct decline. Hello. Sorry, there was a bit of distortion here. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it gradually declined, right? So it was not a sharp decline. A sharp decline means directly coming down. Gradual decline is like this, when you go like this, right? So you can see the word gradually declined. Now here you can see it goes in the straight line. So it means that it is stable. It is not fluctuating. So his remained stable, right? So when you are talking about petroleum production and these three, stages, right? At these three levels, so you have got the words peaked at, gradually declined, and has remained stable. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you learned these words? Peaked at,
Yes, sir.
gradually declined, and has remained stable. Now, these are the phrases when you use them in your actual IELTS test, they will help you a lot. Okay?
Mm.
Now, look here. Can you read this sample? This sample comparison. Could you please read it aloud?
The consumption of petroleum peaked at over 50% in 1973, then
Hmm.
gradually declined over the next 12 years. Since 1985, global petroleum consumption has remained stable at 40%.
You see? Now, when you look at,
Yes,
these phrases, it makes the writing very beautiful, and you feel like you have written a very good paragraph.
yes,
Right?
sir.
Are you getting it? So this is why, having the exact and right phrases and right language is really important. If you don't have the right words for describing the data, it means that you may not get, your desired bands, your desired score, right? So this is important that you should have these phrases at your hands. Now, here we are moving up, right? Was unchanged, right? Now, it's the same as remained stable. But if you are using the same
Yes,
word twice or thrice, so the examiner will feel that you don't have much of the vocabulary. Your lexical resource is very limited, right? To show the examiner that you have a lot of words, so instead of using the word remain stable, what was used? Unchanged, right?
unchanged.
Right? Now, instead of saying gradually increased, here's the word used slowly increased. Both of
Slowly.
them mean the same thing. But here you are actually telling the examiner, you are showing off that your lexical resource or lexical range is ample, right? You have a lot of words. You know the language, right? Is it clear? So slowly increase.
Yes,
Now, instead of saying it peaked, right? It is said has plateaued, right? It means the same as peaked at, right? Over 50%. Both of them, they mean the same thing. But if you are using the same word as when you say that nuclear energy production reach at its peak. So it will, again, the examiner will feel that your lexical range is limited. So when you have used the word plateaued, it means that you are showing off that you have more words than, one, right? You can narrate the same idea in many other ways. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you read this one, this paragraph?
For the first decade after 1970, the rate of nuclear energy consumption was unchanged, at around 5% worldwide. After 1980, it slowly increased, and since 1995, it has plateaued at 12%.
Right? So this is how you report the data individual. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now look here. We have a pie chart. We have discussed it, yesterday, origins of English, right? And we have discussed the pie chart. This is the data: Latin, French, Germanic languages, and Greek language, other language, etc., etc., right? Now look at these words. Exactly the same. Latin 29%, French 29%. So these two, the contribution of these two languages, they are exactly the same at 29% each, right? Then Germanic languages, they are contributing almost as much as 26%, or almost as much as Latin and French are contributing, right? Almost. It's not exactly the same, but it is contributing almost as much as Latin and French are contributing, into the English language. Now, can you read this paragraph? The influence of Latin.
The influence of Latin and French
Mhm.
on English is exactly the same at 29%, and Germanic language has influenced English almost as much at 26%. Together, these three language groups make up more than 80% of the origin of English.
Yes. Okay. So, the use of exactly the same and almost as much as, right? They are making your writing much, much better. Now, look here. These are other words.
So this is common cohesive devices.
No, this is not these are not cohesive devices. These are called, the use of, accurate phrases. Cohesive devices are those words which actually link one idea with another one. Such as, for example, when I say first in one paragraph and then I say second. So the second and the first, they are actually linking each other to the title. Why? Because both of them, they are talking about something. Is it clear? Similarly, when I say
Yes, sir.
in addition, or additionally, when I say in contrast, right? When I say likewise. So these are actually the cohesive devices, okay? I've already shared the list with you. You can check it there as well. Clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now look at these words. Considerably and significantly smaller, right? So the contribution of derived from proper names, other languages, and Greek, comparing to these three, the contribution of these other three, they are considerably or significantly smaller, right? Into English language. Now, can you see here? The word in contrast is used. This is what you call cohesive device. Okay, can you read this sentence, this paragraph? B, please read it.
Yes, sir. In contrast, Greek, other language, and proper names have had a significantly smaller influence on the origin of English at 6% and 4% respectively.
Respectively means, the way these things, these names are mentioned, right? 6%,
Yes, sir.
6%, and 4%. Here we have Greek, other languages, and proper names. These three things are mentioned. So the contribution of Greek is 6%, the contribution of other languages is 6%, and since proper names is has been discussed, in the end, so it is 4%. This is why they call it respectively, right? It's in the same order as the names are mentioned, right? So this is what you call the use of proper language. Here we have a cohesive device as well. In contrast, why in contrast? The word in contrast is used to show that this paragraph or this sentence is different. It is narrating a different story than this one, right? Here the contribution was very high, right? Are you getting it? The contribution of French, Latin, and Germanic languages was high, right? So they are discussed in one paragraph. The contribution of the other three, Greek, other languages, and proper names, is low. So this is why they said in contrast. In contrast to those languages, the contribution of these three languages, which are discussed in this paragraph, they are low. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? Hello? Have you learned it?
Ji, sir.
Okay. Let's move
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Let's move ahead. You can see it here. Greek, other languages, and proper names. 6, 6, and 4. You can see it in the diagram as well, the pie chart. Okay. And then the use of the word respectively, it's again a cohesive device because it talks about the relationship between these names and these percentages. So that's all about it for describing the data. I hope you have learned what kind of languages should we use, right? And how to focus it. Is it clear? Now we have an activity, right? And in this
Yes, sir.
activity, you will be using proper words from the list of the words about, these trends. So now looking at this, direction, which word is the small, you can say the most relevant word or words are the most relevant to this type of trend when it is going this way? What word will you choose? G, can you tell me?
Slight decrease.
Yes, slight decrease. Very good. Very good. What about this one?
Significant drop.
Yes, very good. You can use the word significant drop, right? You can also say, use the word downturn, right? You can also
Yes,
use
sir.
this one, right? And yes, dramatic fall, right? Dramatic fall
Yes, sir.
means going, dramatically going down. So both of all of these words, they are correct. What about this one? It is moving up.
Slight increase.
Slight increase. Very good. What about this one?
Rapid race.
Rapid raise, yes, rapid raise is okay, and
Upward.
upsurge is also, you can say the right word. Okay, what about this one?
Suji, can we use one word two
Yes,
times?
yes, you can use it.
Downturn.
Downturn, as I mentioned, it is, when you are going very sharp. So again, you can say a slow fall, right?
No.
And what about this one?
Slight increase.
Yes, slight increase, or yes, slight increases is the right option. Or rapid rise is also good because it came down and then automatically went up. Okay, what about this one? This is a bit technical. G. What about this one?
Fluctuation.
Yes, excellent. Fluctuation means when something is not stable, it is moving like this, right? So this is what you call
Yes.
fluctuation. Very good. And this one?
Recovery.
No, recovery is both can be, this is a recovery, right? This is what you call recovery. Uh, when something is, moving in this same direction, we call it steady period.
Steady period.
Yes.
Steady period.
Or stable period. Both of them, they are the right options. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move to the next. I hope you have learned these words, right?
Yes, sir.
So these are the words which actually will help you in, navigating your way, writing your answer and task one. And these will, make your writing much, much better. You have got a lot of words here, right?
Yes.
Now again, the same, you can say, kind of practice. Tell me about this one now. Isn't it gradual decline?
Gradually decline.
Yes, gradual decline, right?
Yes, sir.
What about this one?
Rose dramatically.
No, it is not rising, it's going down, my dear.
So we said, sir.
You can say reached a low point.
Drop. Drop.
Yes, you can say dropped a little. No, it's not dropping a little, it's dropping a lot, right? It's dropping a lot. So you can say reached a low point, right? Or you can also say plunged, but plunge is more suitable here. Okay, what about this one?
Rose slightly.
Yes, rose slightly. Very good. What about this one?
Reach the peak.
Reach. Yes, reach. It peaked at You can see or reach the peak. Both of them, they are correct. Okay, what about this one?
So the jumping.
Yes, you can say,
No.
where's the jump? Uh, uh, Jump is when you go up and then go down. This is what you call jumping, right? Right? Okay, what about this one? You know, it rose dramatically. Why? Because it went down and then automatically it went up.
Yes.
And this one is already fluctuation, you know it, right? And this one, can you please tell me this one?
Yes, sir.
The last one, can you tell me? It remained stable, right? This one remained stable as well as
Remain stable. Yes, sir.
leveled, right? Leveled off. So both of them, they are correct here.
Level of.
Yes, right? Okay. Now we should be taking, these prepositions and using them and these, blanks. So tell me, in January, there were 100 new house sales. Dash this Australian city. What is the correct preposition here? And one. G. Just say it. Atika, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me, in January, there were 100 new house sales. Dash this Australian city. So which of them is the right preposition here?
Is it two?
To this Australian city? No, my dear.
Bye.
No. When something happens in something, Australian city is the place, right? And there are houses on sale. So what should be the right preposition here? It's in this Australian city. Why are you, not getting it? It's very easy. There were 100 new house sales in this Australian city, right? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this figure increased dash 200 in February. What is the correct preposition here? Increased. The figure was 100 and then it increased dash
Eight.
in. No, it increased to 200 in February. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Your prepositions are very poor, my dear. You have to work a lot on your prepositions. You need to learn it. However, dash the following month. So, however, what is the, the correct preposition here? However, in the following month, right? Are you getting it? However, in the following month, the number of sales fell dash 100. Fell to 200.
It
Fell to 200, returning to the January level. Okay. Following this, there was an upsurge dash house sales from March. So there was an upsurge of house sales from March, right? Then dash May. From March dash May. Tell me what is the right preposition here. You have to make it correct. Shabbas.
42.
Yes. From March to May. Very good. There was an upsurge of house sales from March to May, with the period finishing dash approximately 370 house sales per month. Okay, so what is the correct preposition here?
It approximately.
Yes, 8 approximately. Very good. Right? Now you are learning it. Okay. From that point, sales growth continued, but at a lower rate, with a raise dash 400 houses. With a rise,
Two
yes, to 400 houses in June, and only a slight increase dash 20 house sales in July. Slight increase.
30 off.
Yes, slight increase of 20 houses in July. Very good. In August, new house sales dropped a little. Uh-huh.
32.
Mm-hmm.
Little. Two.
Uh-huh.
Two for
To 400,
before
drop a little to 400 before recovering and reaching a peak at 430 in September. A peak to 430 in September, right?
off a peak.
No, to 430 in September. Now there is an audio. Let me play it for you so that you can listen to the lady and see where we have made a mistake, okay? We have missed one, and let's see where have we missed it. Let me play the audio for you.
In January, there were 100 new house sales in this Australian city.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now listen carefully, okay?
In January, there were 100 new house sales in this Australian city, and this figure increased to 200 in February. However, in the following month, the number of sales fell by 100, returning to the January level. Following this, there was an upsurge in house sales from March to May, the period finishing at approximately 370 per month. From that point, sales growth continued, but at a lower rate, a rise to 400 houses in June, and only a slight increase of 20 house sales in July. In August, new house sales dropped a little to 400 before recovering and reaching a peak of 430 in September.
Okay. Okay, now tell me, where have we made a mistake? G. Atika, dear, where have we made a mistake? Am I audible? Am I audible or not? Atika? Are you there? Okay, let me tell you. If you look closely, we have made a mistake here, and it was deliberate. And question number 4, right? And the mistake was that, the numbers of sales fell by 100. We have said it fell to 200. So
Yes, sir.
when something falls down, it doesn't fall to, it falls by, right? So when the number is given, so you say it fell by 100, right? And the rest of, you can say the blanks, they were okay, they were fine. So it fell by, 100, right? So this was what you say describing a language. This is how you describe a language, and describe a data, sorry, and you focus on the language. Okay. Now here is again, we have a practice activity. I will share, this practice activity with you after the class so that you can do it on your own at home, right? Now, another
Okay, sir.
important thing is grouping information. Now you have learned how to describe data, but now we have to learn how can we group data. Grouping data means taking similar data and grouping them into one group, right? Then taking another kind of data and putting it in another group. So this is what you call grouping data, right? When you make different groups of similar datas,
Yes,
this is what you call grouping information. So let's see how can we do that, okay? Now, look here, it's a writing task 1, and we have the information here, and we have been asked to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So there is a flow chart which below, which shows the sources of natural gas and the way it is distributed, right? And then we have this flow chart, right, about the natural gas production and its distribution. So the first thing that we should observe is the title. The title says that natural gas production and distribution system. Then we should group from where the data is imported and stored. So you can see we have two storages, main underground storage, then pipeline and regional storage, right? That is one place, one type of data, similar data, right? Where we have the similarity. Both of these, processes, they are talking about actually elements of the process, they are talking about the storage. So this is one data. Another, right? What kind of data is or minerals are stored? So imports, gas well, gas plant, and oil, well to refinery, right? So the gas has been imported from these three sources. One, it is, taken through imports through ships. Another one is gas well or gas pipeline, right? To the man's underground storage. And the third source is the oil well or oil refinery, right? They're actually, these three sources are actually supplying the data, the minerals to the man's storage, right? So this is another group. We've got two groups by now. Main storage and regional storage. There is the storage data or the storage, places of the process. Then we have the from where the minerals, or you can say the raw material, is supplied. So it is supplied through either imports or from gas well or from oil well, right? That is another grouping. Okay. Then from regional storage, it is taken through 40,000 liter tankers or 24,000 liter wagons. So again, this is the source of transportation. The transportation is another, you can say element in the process. So this data is again put in another group. So we have got the third group here. Then we've got the fourth group where we have the 120,000 liter retail storage. And then from there, it is again transferred through 12,000 liter delivery trucks to the retail customers. So from retail storage to retail customers, this is the fourth group. So now we have divide the process of natural gas production into how many groups? 4 groups. Is it clear?
4 groups.
Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir.
We have grouped the data. Now, can you please read the first line, the first, overview of the, you can say, the diagram. Could you please read it in yellow?
The diagram outlines the system used in the production, storage, and distribution of natural gas.
You can see here, the diagram outlines the system used in production, right? So production was oil well, gas well, and imports. So that is used in production.
Yes.
Then storage, and then distribution of natural gas. So it talks about the whole process. It gives the overview. Is it clear? We've grouped the data
Yes, sir.
and we have given the overview. Now, could you please read the second paragraph?
The gas can originate from several sources. Firstly, natural gas can be obtained directly from gas well after treatment in a gas plant. It is ready for distribution of
Hmm?
a product of oil production. Oil is refined and the natural gas is obtained as part of the process. Thirdly, the ready-to-use gas may be imported by ship and is available for immediate distribution.
Have you got it?
Yes,
When
sir.
we have got 3 sources, so all the 3 sources have been described in this, right? That the gas can originate from several sources, right? And then we have firstly, secondly, right? Or
And
firstly,
thirdly,
another, and third, right? Thirdly. So we have got 3 sources and they are talked about, they are being discussed in detail here, right? Now, from the sources, now we are coming to the storage. Could you please read this paragraph? The greener one.
gas from all three of these sources is initially kept in a central underground storage facility. It is then piped to regional storage centers. Once there, it is transported either by 24,000 liter rail wagon or 40,000 liter road tanker to retail outlets ready to be sold to the public. At the retail outlets, it is stored in 120,000 liter tanks.
Yes. So this was here. It was, the retail storage, 120,000 liters, right? Now,
Yes.
could you please, the last line, finish with distribution to customers. So could you please read the last paragraph?
The final storage in the process involves delivery to individual customers by smaller 12,000 liter tanker trucks.
Yes.
Finish with distribution to customers.
Okay, so this is, then you can say that, then it was at the, customer retail or centers, it is distributed to the customers, right? Or it is sold to the customers and then full stop. So this is how a writing task 1 should look like. You have grouped the information, then you have talked about it in detail in the same way. Is it clear? This makes
Yes, sir.
the task very easy. You don't miss anything, any information, and also, it gives the examiner an impression that you know how to summarize, how to report, select, and report the data from the visual, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Then we have this practice activity. So here we have again the process, right? Where volcanoes release gas dust, right? And it talks about, the rains, right? The type of rains. And then, the whole process is discussed here. We have emissions, NO2, various reactions lead to acid formation, dried deposits, emission of NO2, SO2s, wet depository, precipitations, and then some acidic incorporated into clouds, right? Poisoning of the environment, and so on. Now we have all these four slots, and uh, if to talk about the cycle which is discussed above in the diagram, you should choose the paragraph and exact order, the way the information, all the information is grouped in these paragraphs. What you need to do is to put them in the right order. For example, this paragraph, the second one should go first, the third one should go second, for example, right? Or the fourth one should go first, right? And then the second one should go second, and so on. So I will share again this, you can say, this worksheet with you, and you should do it at your home, and then, send it to me so that I can check whether you have answered it correctly or not. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but we can only discuss, the first one so that to give you the idea. You can see here, the diagram illustrates the stages in the process of acid rain formation and the effects this can have on the environment, right? So this is actually the topic sentence. Then
The first
we have,
one.
yes, then we have the overview. Generally, yeah, overall, it can be seen that a combination of natural and man-made elements are responsible for acid rain. So this means that this is the first paragraph which should be here in the first, spot, right? Is it clear? Is it clear
Yeah.
or not? Then you should choose, the rest of the paragraphs for yourselves, right?
Yeah.
I'll share it later on with you in the group. Don't worry. So this is all about it for today's lecture. If there are any questions, you can ask. If there is any problem, you can ask. I hope everything is clear. I hope you have learned how to focus on
Sir,
the
how we
event.
met the groups?
Which groups?
Sir, did you discuss in the diagram, each diagram?
Uh, are you talking about this one? So, not this one. Okay, here you are talking about how should we, group the information, right? Are you talking about this one? Hello, am I audible? Atika, am I audible?
I
Ji,
talk about natural gas.
you were talking about the other one. The natural gas process. That one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are you asking? What is your question? Can you tell me? You can ask and
How
push
we
to.
made a group from diagram.
Okay. As I've already mentioned, when you are grouping data, right? You are not grouping diagrams. You are actually grouping data in the process in the diagram. So you should look for the relevancy of different processes, or you can say different terms. As you can see here, these three elements, gas well, oil well, and imports, they are actually producing or bringing the natural gas, right? From here, these are actually the sources in simple words. They are the sources
Yes,
of natural gas, one thing. So these will come in, they will go into one group, right? Then as you can see here, main and regional storage, main underground storage and regional storage. So storage facilities, they are again the same thing. So they will go into another group, right? From these sources, these three sources, the natural gas is brought to these two storages. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
So this is the second group. Then the third group is transportation. So we have two kinds of transportation. One is 40,000 liters tankers and another one is 24,000 liters tank wagons. So transportation is another, group. This is how you group the data. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? You talk about it. You talk about these, steps in the process, in different paragraphs. And it actually tells the examiner that you know how to select and report the data, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's all about it. If there is any other question, you can ask.
No, sir.
All right. And then, inshallah, see you tomorrow with, another lecture. Until then, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.